Hi, good evening. Let's go ahead and get started. I am Teamika Jeffrey. Thank you so much for attending, Christina. Yes, we can see your message. Thank you for attending. Tonight, we will be talking about minority business certification, minority business enterprise certification, and what it takes to get certified. I would ask that you keep all of your questions to the end. We will have question and answer so that I can answer all of your questions. This seminar is being uh, recorded. It will not be passed out, but I can email you the slides if you will sign a non-disclosure and a non-compete. And then you can have the slides, you just cannot have the recording. Okay, so save your questions for the end. I know you're going to have a lot because there's a lot to get through. This Zoom is over at 8 p.m., but feel free to stay because there's a lot more information that may go past 8 p.m. And also feel free to drop off at 8 if you cannot stay. Okay, so let's get started. I will be sharing the screen. If you can't see it, please let me know. Okay, so minority business enterprise. What is minority business enterprise and what are the benefits? So the benefits of having an MBE certification really boils down to one word: access. Certification gives MBEs exclusive access to top corporate purchasing agents, premium network events, searchable supplier database, affordable consulting services, technology programs, and vital introduction to nationally known corporations. We will also go through some of those corporations, those grants, and those loans that are available in the end. Minority Business Enterprise Certification. A minority business enterprise MBE certification is a state program designed for businesses 51% owned and operated by American citizens considered as ethnic minority. And that is everyone except for Caucasian males. A minority-owned business certification will give you access to enormous state government budgets and nationally recognized corporations who are required to purchase from minority-owned businesses. The MBE certification offers more accessible qualification criteria than federal certifications, making it ideal for businesses that do not yet meet the requirements for federal certifications. The only federal certification is WMBE, and that's Women Minority Business Enterprise. Now, who is eligible? Again, the qualifications vary, but typically a business must have been operated for at least 1 year, and that's 11 months, and be at least 51% women or minority owned. Owners must provide a variety of documents about business operation and finances, and that is what we're going to go through tonight. Now, in hopes that you receive one of these emails, and once you are certified, they will email you stating that you are approved. They will also send you multiple logos to put all over your business. Not only that, but they will then put you into a database, a government database of your state. And once you're in that database, companies can find you, but you're also a supplier. You'll go onto the supplier list as a minority business enterprise. So that's our hope tonight, is that you are able to get these qualifications. I'll give you a little background of me if you do not know me. I am the owner of My Dream Staffing Agency. We are located in New York City and Ohio. I am also the partner of Worldwide Collection Lab, and we do drug testing and also certification for drug testing. So we have had the availability to get certified in both companies. And my dream staffing agency, even though I've owned it for more than 5 years, we just got certified this year, and we are receiving multiple offers for funding. And so that is why I would love to present this to everyone that under the sound of my voice, that you know about what MBE does and how it can affect your legacy. So we are going to start in the process of showing you everything that you need to submit, what it looks like, what it entails. There is a long list. It's probably 15 different things, but there are different ways that you can submit it. Maybe your business is not all the way put together per se for you, but I'm going to show you things that you can just write down and present to your state, and you will not see a portal for you to go to tonight. And the reason why is because each state is different. You will only need to go to the name of your state. If it's Texas, it's texas.gov. If it's Illinois, it's illinois.gov, and put in the word minority business enterprise, and then it's going to take you right to your portal. So every state is different because this is a state-based certification. So we're going to go through the MBE checklist. Again, I will give you information that is going to help you with these things that they ask for. They do ask that you number each form. It makes it easier for them to know. Now, the checklist that we're going through, you will see that each state has the same checklist. It may be worded different, it may be numbered differently, but every state has the same. I went through about 15 different states before in preparation of this seminar. So I'm sure that out of the 15 that were the same, the other 30 plus are also the same. So the first is a passport or birth certificate. That is just showing your naturalization, and that's number one. You have to be an American citizen in order to apply for this certification. So you would just make a copy of either your passport or your birth certificate to send in. Number two is your state taxes. Every state that you're in, you have to file taxes. Now, this is not your state taxes for business. I know some people are going to say, I've never filed for my business. You can have it for business or personal. You will need your last year's state taxes. You're also going to need, for number three, is a bank signature card or a letter with the bank's letterhead explaining who has signature authority for the company's bank accounts. That letter can just be 2 sentences, even one. You're going to go into your bank, tell them that you need a signature or authorized signature letter stating that you are the signator on your business account. If you don't have a business account, you need a business account. Even if you go open it tomorrow, you need a business account. So you will go in there, get a letter, and it can just state Teamika J is the authorized signator of my dream staffing agency account ending in whatever your account is ending in. They do not need to put the full account. They just need to see this on your bank's letterhead. Number 4 is your personal federal tax returns. Now, for the last 3 years, if you only had business, like you did your business, you are an S Corp and you did it separately, and you can just submit your business tax returns. If for whatever reason you've only been in business this year and you have not filed taxes, you can still submit. So you've been in business, this is our 11th month, you started in January, and you've been in business for 11 months, and you can still submit your last 3 years of personal tax returns. No matter if you've been in business 2 years, 3 years, if you have W-2s on your tax returns, you work in the morning, you operate your business at night, vice versa, but on your taxes, you do have a company on there that states you are their employee, even if you are a subcontractor. You are still going to turn in either your 1099s or your W-2s with those tax returns. One thing I do want to give you a heads up on is if you start this process, once you go to the link of your state and you start this process, you have 2 weeks to turn in all of these documents before you have to start over. So once you have 2 weeks from the day your officer picks up your account and then starts emailing you that they need different qualifications, different information, you only have 2 weeks. So you want to have all of these things up front, and the taxes is usually what delays companies. So again, let's go back to the taxes. We want to make sure that we have the W-2s and the 1099s apart with the taxes. Now, if you do not have the taxes, they are not going to tell you this up front. I am going to give you this information. If you cannot find your W-2s, you've submitted your taxes, now they come back to you and say, we're sorry, we need your W-2s as well. You can, on your company's letterhead, write that you cannot locate that year's W-2s. Some people have multiple W-2s and they can't go back to the company. The company is either out of business or just you've moved and you cannot locate it. It is going to take longer than 2 weeks to get that information from the IRS. You can write on letterhead that you can submit a letter that you are unable to locate those W-2s. Now, on your taxes, if your spouse is on the taxes with you, your spouse income is now being counted in this. You cannot make more than $3 million in a year to be qualified as MBE. So just know that your spouse's income is going to be added. They're not going to separate it. This is the same thing about the taxes. You only need 1 year of business. You only need 1 year of business. If you filed 1 year of business tax returns, you're great. If this is your first year, because we are now in November, if we were doing this in July, I would say you would need to wait till you do the taxes. But now, if you started in January and this is the 11th month, going into the 11th month, and by the time you get it started, it'll be December. So it definitely would be 11 months. You will be able to submit your 3 years personal. You must submit an analyzed balance sheet. So I'm going to show you. Now, this is considered an analyzed balance sheet, and you need to do it for every year you've been in business. If you've been in business for 3 years, you want to show 2 to 3 years on your balance sheet. Your balance sheet usually consists of your assets and your liabilities. Inside of your business plan, you have a balance sheet. All you're going to do is just extract that balance sheet from your business plan and send it right over to them. You want to show your accounts receivable, your inventory, any short-term investments you have. You want to, for your liabilities, it needs to show your accounts payable, your wages payable, your interest payable, your taxes payable, any warranty liability, and unearned revenue. This is a basic. If you have a more detailed, you can submit that. But all of this is going into your portfolio. Okay, back. We also want to submit, and this is important because that you have this cash flow statement, number 7, because number 7 and number 8, you can submit them both as the same thing, just label them differently. I'm now showing you a cash flow statement. If you've been in business for 3 years or 2 years or 1 year, this is an example cash flow statement. Again, this is in your business plan. It definitely should be in your business plan. If you do not have a business plan, I recommend that you have one ASAP, because it's going to make all of this more seamless for you. You can just extract all of this information from your business plan and send it right over. Your cash flow statement is just money in, money out. So money you receive compared to the money you spend. Now, the one thing I'm going to tell you about the cash flow statement, this is also your P&L statement as well. You can use them as both, but this is what they are going to refer to when it's time for your funding. Each state has an allowed amount of funding for small businesses. So when you go out for your loans and you go out for your just funding in your state, this is how they can see if your business is scalable. If it's losing money every year, which most companies lose money the first 2-3 years, if it doesn't look as if it is scalable, then it's going to be hard for them to give you funding. So we need to fudge the numbers a little. But if it doesn't look like your company is scalable, that each year it could possibly make more, they are not, I repeat, they are not using your Social Security number. They are not using your credit to determine if you are allowed funding. They are using this is like a proposal. They are using this proposal, this information, to determine how much your company is going to be, the word is not entitled, but entitled to, or can qualify for. So this cash flow statement is very important. It's very important in your business plan as well, because this is what banks look at when you do go in for funding. It's just that banks use your credit. Your state does not. Okay. The same as the most recent analyzed profit and loss or income statement, we can use that cash flow statement. Number 9, we are going to get a facility lease or ownership documentation. That is just the lease. If you have a location, if you have a brick and mortar, you're going to go just make a copy of your lease. If you are renting from your home. You have a home-based business. This is if you are mobile. You may have a virtual address, but your home is your mailing address, which is your home-based business. You're just going to submit your lease. If you have a mortgage, you're just going to submit your mortgage statement. This is just saying that you have a location. It doesn't mean that you have to go out and rent a facility. You can just use your home because you are a home-based business. But if you are a brick and mortar, you want to use that lease. And you do want to make sure that the lease is current. You cannot give a lease that stated it ended in July, and then you say, oh, but I'm doing month to month, and they just haven't updated the lease. You're going to need to go back and get that lease updated. Number 10 is loans and security agreements, including bonds and company personal promissory notes. The majority of small businesses, if you did not do like a startup fund, you don't have a loan. If you do not have loans or promissory notes or security agreements, you can, on your letterhead, write that. You would write attention. You'll on your letterhead under attention, we do not have loans, security agreement, bonds, or promissory notes. Sorry. Number 11 is equipment list. And this, it sounds easy and it would throw someone off because they're like, well, I don't have any equipment, but you do. If you are mobile, your vehicle is part of your equipment. If you have a brick and mortar, you want to go around the whole office and name all of your equipment, your fax machine, your printer, the paper, the ink. All of this is included as your equipment. If you are a lash tech, your lashes, your tweezers, all of this is included under equipment. So go through everything you have and list your equipment list. If you use your vehicle is part of your equipment. Twelve is the list of subcontractors or suppliers used. Now, there's two ways to do this. You can definitely give invoices from the different suppliers you use. If you are a contractor and you have subcontractors that you've used in the past, you can list those subcontractors on a list, or you can also give the invoices that you paid those subcontractors with. If you do not have any subcontractors or suppliers that you use, you would state that on your letterhead, stating we do not have any subcontractors or suppliers. You must have, okay, it's not a must. It's not a must, but it's important that you have 2 contracts or you went out for 2 loans. This is the only way that you are expedited. So you can do it and submit your information and your place in the waiting list till they get to you. And it's usually about 90 days before they get to you. But if you stated that you have either a pending contract, So it's stating that a company would hire me if I was MBE certified, because mostly all companies receive a tax write-off if they hire a minority supplier. So it's in their best bet, their best interest to use you. So if you have 2 signed contracts or you have a pending loan, you're going to get what's called fast track. That means that when you submit your information, you're going to be contacted within less than 30 days, and this whole process is going to be done within 30 days. I will tell you in the most secretive way, because it is being recorded, that you can make sure that you go to a minority friendly family member, maybe, and they can say that they would work with you if you were a minority business enterprise. You also have to provide, if you did have a contract already and you did not have the signed contract, we at Worldwide Collection Lab, we give contracts. But if you did not have a contract, a contractual agreement with someone, but you've paid them or they've paid you for your service, you can use those invoices. 2 invoices is going to show that you had a contractual agreement with another company. You will need a personal net worth statement. They will send you this statement. And in this statement, it's just filled out how much you currently have in the bank. You only need this if you are going out for a EDGE or a HUD certification. It's not for MBE and it's not for WBE, which is Women Business Enterprise. You only need a personal net worth statement if you're going out for economically disadvantaged, and that is EDGE or HUD, which I personally would suggest that you go out if your zip code matches. If you find out that your zip code is in an EDGE or a economically disadvantaged area, you definitely want to go out. You are entitled to more funding. The way you will know is when you contact your officer in your state. They will let you know which certifications your area qualifies for. WBE and MBE is always there, but there's other ones. There's EDGE, there's DBE, which is only under the Department of Transportation, but they can forward your information over. You are going to definitely, this is the most important thing, is your NAC codes and your UNSPSC codes. You can get these from Google, but I'm going to tell you, and you can also go into the NAICS codes, and they're all labeled there for your industry. I'm going to tell you why this is so important. This is the way that you are labeled in your state. When procurements come up, those are contracts. Those are state-funded, state contracts, just like government contracts. When procurements come up, they can go through the codes of the state and see what company provides this service. So if we have any drug testers on here, we wanted to put drug testing and alcohol testing as our UNSPC code and our NAC code. I would tell you before you run and say, okay, this is what I do, look at every aspect of what you do and see how can you touch as many NAC codes as possible. If you do landscaping and you also drive truck, I would put all of the transportation NAC codes and all of the landscaping infrastructure codes. This way, you don't have to do a DBA. Because, and if you have a DBA, I'm sorry to just let you know, like go to another subject, but if you have a DBA, that has to be a separate filing. You can't file under your main business and file under your DBA under the same MBE certification. But if you have a DBA, if you do not, this acts as if you put all of these NAC codes that your company provides, the services they provide, and the UN SPC codes, SPSC. You can find all of them on Google. You put in your industry, what is my UN SPSC code, and it will give it to you. And just so you know, that UN SPSC code is more pertinent than the NAC code for your state. The NAC is pertinent more in the government contracting, but for your state, they always look at that UN SPSC code. If you have a partner in your company, you're going to need to submit a partnership agreement. If you've changed the your company and you've made it a S Corp or a C Corp, you need that information. If you're just a limited liability corporation, you can just turn in your articles of incorporation. I think I missed something on here. You also have to turn in a resume. That's at top. It doesn't have a number that goes with it, but they are going to ask for your resume. Your resume gives more history of how you came into this industry, how this makes you an expert in your industry. So if you've never had a resume and you've been in business for 5-10 years and you're like, dust off your computer and make you a resume, and you wanted to show how you progressed in this industry. So whatever companies you work for, if it was just your company, make sure those bullets explain things that you've done that make you an expert in this industry. The resume is a must. Like it is, it's a determining factor. They're going to ask for your resume. You're going to have a list, and it's the membership interest. If you are the sole member of your company, then you're just going to have on Excel, it's you only. You're going to put your name, your address, the date of issue. This is your member interest. If you have more people that have an interest more than 51% or less than 51%, maybe they have 10 or 15, each person has 10 or 15% in your company, you have to list them on here. They want to make sure that you have 51% or more. You will need to show a company value worksheet. This is where you're valuing your company for the next 3 or 5 years. Now, this information is right in your business plan. Take that information, that Excel sheet that you already have in your business plan, and just submit that. Your business plan should be 3 to 5 years projection anyway, and you're just going to take that Now, again, this company value worksheet is a projection. There's no right or wrong answer, but you want it to be basic. This is your estimated value of the company. Now, those are all the things that you will need for your application. I want to give you some contacts for your state to find out who should you contact in your state. So these are different. A moment, sorry. One moment, let me just pull up the programs. Found it. One moment. Okay, I'm going to pull up the state information, and then I'm going to pull up the funding for every state so that you can see how much your state is. Okay, one moment. All right, let's go with the okay, let's go with the funding first. Okay. Are you able to see my my screen? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go with funding first because I think this is very exciting, and I was so happy to share this information with you, and I would love for you to go down this rabbit hole of funding. Now that you have the information of what to turn in, I will also give you the information of how to find your agency. But first, I just want to share light with you some information. This information came out August 2023. Now, Congress allocated the SSBCI fund of $10 billion. $6 billion will go to states, $500 million to tribal governments, $1.5 billion for small businesses operated by socially and economically disadvantaged. That is what I was speaking of, why it's in your favor to find out if your area is disadvantaged, if you are qualifying for HUD or EDGE. That is going to be very promising for you on top of everything else that's available. There are multiple programs that you can look into. And when you receive these files, you can go in and look more. But there are loan programs, there are capital access programs, there's equity capital capital programs, there's multiple programs. And the SSBCI is the funding for each state. And I just want to show you that you can go under the SSBCI and find out how much funding for every state. I know we have people on here in Florida, and Florida has the highest amount. This is this year. This is this year. But you will also have the capability to go in here and find out how much your state, and you can go right to the link and do more research of what programs are available. Florida was given $250 million for economic opportunities. They were given $50 million for loan program and another $50 million for guaranteed loan programs. That's more for commercial use, to purchase a commercial building. All of this funding will be guaranteed to you once you apply, once you have the certification. This is for small business only. So every state, you'll go in. Alabama, they didn't show, it just says to be determined, but that's the only state on here that said to be determined. Each state has received just this year alone 50, 24, so much. Alaska is like one of the smallest, and they received $2 million. I'm not sure if they have a large minority program in Alaska. California received over $300 million for small businesses. Actually, they received, it looks like $500 million, a little more than that. So there is opportunity for you. You need to take that next step in becoming certified. I just want to show you one more site that you can go to. And this is the U.S. Chamber. If you go to the uschamber.com, this is the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. This site is going to provide grants that are available to you right now, even if you're not certified. They are available to you right now. The only thing I would say is that you are fast-tracked once you have that certification. So they're going to look at you, but they're going to really want to invest in you if you have MBE, WBE, veteran-owned, 8A. Once you have those certification, you're considered a set-aside. It's like, if we have this money, then it's more money will come to us if we invest in more minority businesses, women business. Once you go out for your MBE, you're automatically, if you are a woman, you're automatically able to apply to your WBE at the same time. Again, I am sending this information to you via email. You will be able to receive these slides once you sign a non-disclosure. Some of these grants are over now, but again, at least you have the heads up for 2023. There are a few in here. Walmart still has one going on until the end of the year. It's probably about 60 different things that you can apply to. One ends this deadline on this one. This is the Innovation Corp program. This deadline is November 15th. But all of this more information is so important for us to expand our business. It's no more being a one-man band when it is enough funding out there for all of us to succeed and to pass on for our legacy. Tonight, I'm offering a special offer. For the class, if you're in the class right now, it's $1,500, and you will receive the consultation of making sure that your business and the state, well, every state except for, I think it might be Minnesota, but every state provides this. They just have different name, I think, in Minnesota. So I will help you with that. I would do that eligibility assessment. We will prepare all of your documents for you. And we will also create that business plan for you. If you don't have a business plan, I'm also offering a business plan, a 3-year projection for $500. All of these offers are good until December 8th. After, it would be $19.95 for anyone. So embrace the challenges, seize the opportunity, and let your MBE certification be the key that unlocks the doors to a brighter future for your business and your community, our community. I would definitely ask that you share this information, whatever you learned tonight, like share it to someone so that they go and get their certification too. So thank you so much for listening and tuning in. I would love to answer your questions now. If you have a question, just type it in the chat, and I'm going to answer it out loud. Hi, Juana. I'm just waiting for the questions. Do you have to live in the same state you registered your business in? No. You can live. So most people register their state, let's just say Delaware, register their business, let's just say Delaware, and you do not live there. But if you have a virtual business address there, they want to know that. I do not live in Ohio, but I do have a business in Ohio. That's why I filed in Ohio. So I just got started with DOT this year. How would that certification affect me? So I would say, so you just got started this year. Is this your only business? Do you have another business? Yes. Where do you do your taxes at? Nope. As long as your business is under the state that you file in, as long as your business and everything is, I want to say cohesive. I don't know if that's the right word, but it matches your virtual business address. There's a lot of people who live in a different state, but you have to file taxes in that state too. When you talk about having a potential contract, can that be with any business? So the question is, when you talk about having a potential contract, can that be with any business? Any business. They are not looking to see what business you had a contract with. So I gave a little like information, secret information earlier. So again, they do not care who did you had a contract with. They just want to see it um, for fast track reasons, because they want to get anyone through that has a potential contract or they have a potential loan. They don't want to hold you up. So they want this is how you fast track. But people don't know that, and it's not on there. But if you show that, then they're going to what's called fast track. Get you done within 30 days. Yes, I have a medical billing business. If you've had that business for a year, I would definitely add that. But on your UNSPC codes, put drug testing as well. I would use your medical billing. If you've been in business longer than a year doing medical billing, I would use that and do your MBE under that company. When you put in your codes, because that's the only way they know what you do, is once you put the codes in. There's no give me a business summary about your business. It's just all this paperwork. 3 years, definitely. You're ready, Juana. Please submit tomorrow if you can. Are there any more questions? Don't leave without your question being answered. We want to make sure that everything is answered, because I want you, if you can do it tomorrow, then look up your state and apply tomorrow. This money, once you see the list, you can go to it's the state small business initiative and see how much each state is receiving. Do you have to get documentation from the company, or can we just list the business? You have to either show a contract or an invoice. They're asking for two, either one invoice, one contract, or two invoices and two contracts. Okay, Wanda, I'm here. Can I use the agreement that I signed with Worldwide Collection for this purpose? No, that's not a contract. The contract would be if but we do that, but that's not what it looks like. A contract would be if we said we were going to solicit your service for this amount starting on this date. You're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry if that was not clear. I want to make this clear, very clear. If you never made a dime in your business, it does not matter. Number one, your agent is probably going to tell you that. If you've never made a dime in this business, it does not matter. The reason you didn't make a dime in your business is because of capital. You were unable to secure capital. I'm telling you the reason. You were unable to secure capital, so you were unable to make money. They do not care. You're just going to submit the paperwork. They are not looking at your company and analyzing it, but they are making sure that you have all of the necessary documents in. Once those documents are in, then they can, and you are certified, they're only going to analyze it when you go after the loans, not the grant money, but the loan money, because they want to make sure that your business is scalable. But if you show them your projections of what you're projecting compared to the inventory and compared to the industry, then that's all you need. Do not let that hold you up. Submit your documents. If they do not utilize that money, they don't continue to get more. So what I'm about to say is not against anyone here, but I just want to tell you that the people that receive the most money in minority business enterprise is Caucasian women. African American and Hispanic women make up only 1% of MBE certified. MBE certified funding is only going to 1%. And it's reasons what we just said, maybe they think they haven't made any money, and if they submit, they're going to be turned down. The only reason you're turned down is because you did not submit your paperwork in a timely fashion. You're not turned down because your paperwork, because your company, they looked at your company and said, no, he doesn't deserve to have an MBE. So please don't let anything deter you. Oh, you're welcome. It's my purpose. Whatever I know, I want to make sure that whoever can hear my voice knows it as well. Especially when you look at the state small business initiative. That funding is, once you see that list, I mean, it's $10 billion that they have put into us, that you've seen that sheet. That is as of August 2023. So if we don't use it, we lose it. And I just want to make sure that you know how to submit your information so that you don't lose it. Because when you look at the list, it looks as if it's hard, but it is not hard. You just have to make sure that the things that you don't have, you write it on your letterhead and say, I don't have this, or I don't have that. And each form has to be separate. You can't put it all on one document. They have to be separate documents. So that's why they would like for you to label them. I'm also going to send you, it's a list that you can see every state and every phone number to that state. So you can contact them and see where do you submit for your state. Or you can go to yourstate.gov and put in MBE, and then you can also see where to submit. Are there any questions? I would definitely implore you all to have a business plan, whether you've been in business 1 day or 3 years. If you do not have a business plan, then you don't have a plan. And not a bank or anyone is going to invest in you. Investors definitely are not, if they can't see your plan in writing. And so the minimum amount of projection you can have is 3 years. Plans are usually 3, 5, or 7. And I would suggest that you have a 3-year plan. If you have any questions, you can contact me at worldwidecollectionlab@mail.com. worldwidecollectionlab@mail.com. But you will receive an email with the file. So if you've been open for 3 years, I would just include that in your 3 and then add on 2. So I would do the 5-year, say what you've already made, and then add on 2. now you have a 5-year business plan. It's like, this is where we are, and this is where we're going. Are there any questions before we close this Zoom tonight? Did I miss any question? And well, that's good. I feel like I gave you good information then if you're not confused. So again, I will email this information to each person that attended the Zoom. But you can always reach out at Worldwide Collection Lab at mail.com. Worldwide Collection Lab at mail.com. I hope you have a prosperous rest of your week. If you need any help, please feel free to contact me, but definitely pass on the information so that others around you can get certified too. And they know that this money is there for us to succeed. When when you know more, you do better. So thank you. Again, I'm Teamika Jeffrey, and I hope that you have a great, great rest of your week. All right, goodbye.